When you set up a company in Dubai, you have the choice between mainland companies and free zone companies. So let's find out what's the difference. Think of mainland companies like standard companies in any other country. Just like in other countries, mainland companies come in different forms, such as sole proprietorships, limited liability companies, and public companies. A sole proprietorship, for example, is easier to set up, but can only have a single shareholder. Limited liability companies are the most common mainland company type and work similarly to limited companies in the UK and corporations in the US. Mainland companies have no restrictions. They can do business anywhere in the UAE and abroad, whether you want to open a restaurant, manage a physical store, or even open a law practice. You can do it all with a mainland company. However, very few foreigners have mainland companies. The majority of foreigners instead open free zone companies. Why is that? Let's first explain what a free zone company is. In the UAE, we have around 50 special economic zones called free zones. These zones have different regulations and tax laws compared to mainland companies. Furthermore, some free zones have unique features. Jebel Ali Free Zone, for example, has direct access to the UAE's largest shipping port in Dubai. And DMCC Free Zone is located right next to Dubai Marina, and thus is great if you want to attract high-quality employees. And DIFC Free Zone in Dubai's financial district even operates its own court system, based on English common law. Now here's the big downside. A company registered in a free zone is only allowed to do business within that zone and internationally. So for example, a company registered in DMCC free zone is not allowed to open a retail store in Dubai Mall or run a short-term rental business on Palm Jumeirah. The big question is, why would you open a free zone company with all of these restrictions? That's because there are also benefits. Mainland companies are subject to so-called Emiratization rules. For example, if you hire 20 employees, at least 2 of them have to be Emirati. With a free zone company, however, you can hire only foreigners, no matter how big your company is. Another big difference is the requirement to have an office. With a free zone company, you're usually only required to rent a co-working space, commonly referred to as FlexiDesk. However, with a mainland company, depending on the business activity, you're almost always required to rent dedicated office space, and the office space requirement increases the more people you hire and the more visas you apply for. A quick recap: no matter what kind of company you have, you can always apply for unlimited visas for your shareholders and employees. The UAE has the most liberal immigration policy in the world. Another disadvantage of mainland companies is bureaucracy. It takes longer to set up. Employment contracts for your employees have to be registered with the Ministry of Human Resources, and salaries have to be paid through the Wage Protection Scheme. The Wage Protection Scheme is available through most UAE banks and tracks every payment you make to your employees. Closing down a mainland company is also more complex, requiring you to hire a liquidator and even post a notice in a local newspaper. Despite these differences, mainland and free zone companies are becoming more alike. Until 2021, mainland companies needed a 51% Emirati partner. But today, you can fully own both mainland and free zone companies as a foreigner. What about cost? The setup cost and annual renewal cost for both company types are very comparable. expect to pay a minimum of $3,000 to $5,000 per year for a business license, and around $2,000 to $2,500 for a 2-year visa that's connected to the company. These fees vary based on whether the company is located in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, or another emirate, and also depends on the business activity. However, on average, these fees for mainland and free zone companies are very similar. There are even more similarities, which you should keep in mind. All employees of UAE companies have to enroll for unemployment insurance. This, however, costs less than $100 per year on average. Employees are also required to have health insurance, and again, the cheapest health insurance here costs below $300 a year. Yes, that's per year, not per month. Drum roll please for the most important topic, tax advantages. The UAE introduced a 9% corporate income tax back in 2023. And generally speaking, this tax applies to all companies, including free zone companies. However, there are a number of exemptions. All UAE companies qualify for the base tax exemption on profits below around $100,000. And if you make revenues below $800,000, you also don't need to pay any tax. That's part of the Small Business Relief Program, which runs until the end of 2026, but may be extended. However, free zone companies also qualify for 2 additional exemptions. Certain activities, such as manufacturing and logistics, are exempted from corporate tax. Here's a list of all exempted activities. Even if your business activity does not qualify for exemption, for example because you have a trading or consulting business, you can still pay yourself a good salary, which is fully tax deductible within reason. And any salary you receive is tax-free, thanks to the UAE's 0% personal income tax. We offer the most comprehensive company incorporation service in Dubai and the UAE. We set up companies, apply for licenses, work permits, help you secure office space, open bank accounts, register you for corporate tax, and get your employees health insurance and unemployment insurance, all at a fixed rate. We even develop tax optimization strategies if you're planning to move an existing business to Dubai. We help you with exit taxes in your home country, winding down a business in your home country, navigating transfer pricing between businesses in different countries, and overall support you in achieving paying the lowest possible taxes. Book a free consultation at thedubainavigator.com or contact us on WhatsApp.